Republicans are not going to be in power forever. Hopefully. My confidence in that kind of wanes, depending on the day of the week, depending on what Trump is doing. But I am fairly confident that at some point we are going to have elections again, and eventually a Democrat is going to be the president of the United States. The question on a lot of people's minds, however, is who is that going to be? And that leads me to another viewer question, this one from Adam Berry, 1696, who asks, at some point, most likely next election cycle, we will have a Democrat in the White House. Could you see that being AOC? And if not, could you see her getting a cabinet position in that administration, possibly Secretary of Labor? A lot of kind of different questions in there. Could AOC be the next president of the United States? Possibly. Her popularity among the American public has certainly increased this year. She is actually the most popular. I did a segment on this a couple weeks ago. According to the latest polling, she is the most popular politician in the United States because she has the biggest gap between her approval and disapproval. The downside to that is, you know how big that gap is? 2 points. It is 2 points. So she's still technically the most popular sitting politician, but she doesn't even have a 50% approval rating with the general public. However, most popular definitely counts for something. And it shows she is doing something right by talking about issues, by being out there, by being visible. I mean, hell, she was in Texas a few years ago when they had the big freeze. She was in Texas helping give people supplies while Ted Cruz was busted in Cancun. She does the work and she knows her stuff. So would I like to see AOC as president? Hell yeah. 100% without hesitation. Do I think it could happen in the next cycle? Probably not. I think a few more years, perhaps under her belt. And I do think eventually one day she absolutely could and should and maybe even will be president of the United States. In a cabinet, I don't know. I mean, look, I would love to see her in a cabinet. But at the same time, if she goes to a cabinet, we lose her from the House, where I do think she is very vital. So you kind of have to weigh the pros and cons of that, right? And that's, obviously something Donald Trump did not do, kind of threw House Republicans for a disarray, saying, I'm taking all these people and haha, I've got them now in my cabinet. And they're like, cool, what are we going to do? We have a razor thin majority and you're really screwing us, which is why some of them, like Elise Stefanik, ended up dropping out. But I don't know. I do think getting the experience of working in an administration sets her up better to be president, but she could also end up becoming less effective because she would still be serving at the whim of whoever is president, and may not be able to accomplish what she wants to accomplish. And then that could end up actually hurting her in a presidential campaign. So I think in general, I would like to see her either stay in the House or move to the Senate, which of course is a real possibility. The Senate is definitely a better stepping stone to the presidency than being a member of the House of Representatives. So that's kind of the future that I would like to see with her. Ultimately, however, ending in the White House. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. We got fresh content every day for you. And if you want to follow us across social media, make sure you check out all of the social links that we have posted in the description of this video.